Well, before I met you, my dating life was rather non-existent. I I had been on Match.com maybe a year before with maybe one or two bites, but it just didn't go well. And I was asking people to fix me up, and you know, it just was very minimal and almost I would call non-existent before I met you. And then my a friend of my aunt's said that she worked with you and there was a book that I should read, and I read the four-man plan, and it took me a year and a half to make the phone call to talk to you. So I read the book, thought about it for a year and a half, and then said, this is not working, right? The definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over, expecting that Prince Charming to knock at the door. And, um, and then I picked up the phone to call you, and we had our love audit. And that was so powerful, to the way you asked the questions about my past and what has impeded my dating, and the things that I thought that had nothing to do with dating. Of course, it's all related. My love life today, post love audit and post or coaching over the last, I would say, 4 months, I have been out with, as of today, 15 different men, over 25 dates. And it's not about the numbers as much as it is about the joy of getting to know both myself and being with men in a loving, elegant way. It is just such a different experience from where I've been really all my life when I think about it, because we're not taught how to interact in a modern age with men. And so you read the books and you watch the television and you see the movies, but you ask questions and coach in a way that gets so deep and so reflective of how men and women are together, really getting to know myself and respecting the journey. So I am on a journey. Oh, I would love to talk about the profile before and after. The profile before was very much, I would say, a big long list of, here's what I want, here's, and I don't even know if it was from the heart. I think it was from the head of what I should want, of no coaching on how to write it. So it was just kind of this big long list. And the websites are set up that way, right? What education, what kind of man, this, that. So it's already reinforcing that list. Not a lot of bites or dates. Of the 15 men that I have been out with, 14 of them, it's been all about the profile that you coach me to write, that we did together. That is an experience. And so between the coaching around how men perceive information and process information, and how to explain and coach me through sharing the experience, I was able to write. Right today, I say it's 100% authentic. I think at the beginning, it felt, am I really that person? So it was sort of the build it and it will come. The process of building it and writing it allowed me to grow within it. Essence of my dating right now, I would say two things. One, pure joy at being a full woman in the world. So does that mean I give up my independence and my modern um, modern appreciation of the world? Not at all. But there's a level of femininity that I now own that I didn't own before. Well, before I worked with you, I would say there was a very, I would say there was a wall. Like there, I'd have an interaction with a man, and then all of a sudden I'd back off, or it didn't go exactly the way that I thought I would. All men are, right? So I would judge all men. There's no good men. I'll never meet someone. All those all-encompassing energetic words that block, that's how I was kind of living. So I was actually rather resigned to living a life single and not dating anymore. Well, I was diagnosed with breast cancer in one breast, and I had a wonderful reconstruction and treatment, and I had scars. And that experience, I think I took away my own femininity there. Of it is you don't realize that when you close that door to men, you're closing a door to yourself. And that has been just a beautiful learning. Even if I were to go on another website yes, I would. And that doesn't mean that I wouldn't like coaching in terms of, I mean, I'm having 4 and 5 dates with someone now that I couldn't even imagine that 4 months ago. It's funny, I just had a conversation, well, not funny, but I just had a conversation with a friend of mine who has really given up. And I shared with her the cost to giving up, because it's giving up on yourself. And I said, there are so many ways to learn about yourself and to be on the journey with a man, and that you don't have to wait until you're in a perfect state to have that journey. And to include men in your life instead of excluding them because they don't fit, quote, your perfect picture. The distinction in working with you is I acknowledge that sort of single self or bitchy self when she comes up, but I'm able to include her and say, okay, I got it. I know when she's there, and I'm able to ask her to sit down and take a little time out so that my true sort of higher authentic self can be present and interact with a man in a very different way. I want to add that it's so much about the journey. Like there is, for someone who hasn't dated in a while, it's okay to meet and be with many different men and learn how to be back in the world in a fuller, more authentic way. And that's okay. And I can feel that there's so much more to this journey. So I hope at some point you'll ask me again to speak about the next phase of it, because it's all building to something. And I just so appreciate this work and sort of the blend of the spiritual and the psychological and the womanness. And it's like all of it has brought me to this point. So thank you.